Hey gang, it's Dr. O. Sorry I haven't been able to communicate as much with you. I've been sick. This hit me in sinuses about a week ago, and over spring break it hit me again in my voice box and also a little bit of carpal tunnel. So I wanted to try this new different way of communicating. Instead of typing out everything, I'm kind of getting an idea of where people's concerns are, where they're at least in their life's journey. And one of the questions that I've heard from a lot of students, or at least in this way, is why is it that God allows bad things to happen to good people? Should be allows there. Why does God allow? No, it does. Anyway, so I know this is a tough one. This is a hard one that I even ask that kind of question for myself too as well, and for others that I worked with. And let me give this a try to give my point of view. Now again, I have no idea what God thinks, how He has planned, everything of that nature. I only have faith that things will work out for the best. But I also worked with kids who were abused and neglected when I was out of my master's program in Pasadena. And they were taken out of the home, and that was one of the questions that I asked too, is why is it that some kids do well and other kids don't? And I found that one of the answers that helped me to kind of get through that as a therapist, as well being their therapist, is there are some that end up doing well because they use their experience for good to help others, and then there's others who don't. And now it's kind of hard because I'm only assuming there because I'm not really sure what happened to a lot of them after they got older. But again, that's my assumption. But I've worked with adults who have gone through situations like that, like adult children of alcoholics and so forth. And so basically, again, it's a tough question to answer. But let me give you a little bit more of what I'm thinking, and then tell me what you think in the comments, whether you agree, disagree, or however direction. One of the things that I've noticed about people as a people watcher, and noticed about myself too as well, one is that God will always make something out of good out of bad. Okay, for example, I remember having a student come in and talking to me about abuse that they had, or at least their daughter was sexually abused by a stepbrother, and it brought up emotions for her about her being abused when she was younger as well. And I told her, wow, what a great opportunity you have. And she looked at me kind of strange and, what do you mean opportunity? And says, well, you have an opportunity to help your daughter to get through the pain at the same time helping yourself get through that pain, or everything that might come with it. And it actually started when I was working in East LA as part of my internship. I was in the family unit, and they had this one little kid who was about 10 years old, no, 9, and he was sexually abused by an uncle. And basically, the thoughts are going through his head, am I gay, stuff like that. And I go, no. Just, helping him through the process of understanding that it wasn't his fault, and that, again, bad things happen, sadly, to a lot of people, innocent kids especially. And that's the hardest part. But come to find out that his father was also abused by his father's uncle. So there's a line of abuse that goes through, sadly, through families. And I told him at that same time that you can help your son get through these feelings and thoughts too as well, if he chose to. So I guess my point being is that I don't know if any of you have been watching The Chosen, which is a really great on Angel app, and about Jesus and his disciples. And one of them there was talking about that, in this life, bones will still break, hearts will still break, but at the end, the light will win over the darkness. And that's the thing that I hold on to more as a hope. So really when people start asking, so why does this thing happen to people? Why does this happen to me? I think a lot of it has to do with your freedom of choice. Everybody has freedom of choice. It's something that God has given us. And the freedom to choose to either do good, do evil, do bad, hurt, or to heal. And it's up to us to decide how we want to do that and how we want to use that. Now, if you're innocent, it's even more difficult because you're trying to figure out why things happen. Kids tend to take on that responsibility. That's just, and then also the abusers will give them, blame them for everything too. And so really, let's say for example, someone who hurts someone else, they have a choice. We all have a choice to express the best part of who we are. But a lot of people sadly don't do that. Either there's evil that's attached to it, or hurt people. I'm sure you've heard that before. And so going to the victim role, you can either continue to be a victim of that past experience, or you can change it around and allow God to use that to help others. Because there's a lot of things that I have not gone through that other people have gone through who can really connect with, either alcoholism or things like that, addictions. I only have ancillary type of view of that because I've never had to go through it. But there's pains that everybody goes through, and it's what you want to do with it. You either become a victim or you use it for victory and God's victory and God's glory. So really, I guess, I know this is a feeble attempt to try to answer a question, but tell me what you guys think about this. Like I said, I will never know again why God does what He does and allows what He allows. He sees this tapestry of our lives that are tied in together. I just hold on to the hope. I just hold on to the knowledge and the promise that God will make good things out of bad. And there are things that I've gone through that I look back on that was painful, but at the same time has made me who I am, and has helped me to understand the human condition, and helped me to understand and help others, so that when they're going through it, they know that they're going to be okay because I got through it and I'm okay. And that things, as long as they don't let it control them and become a victim themselves, or let that pain or that spiritual wound fester, and then it becomes a more powerful. So I don't know. I'm just going to toss that out to you. I don't know if this helps out or makes sense at all right now, but I'm giving this a try, and then let me know what you think. I'm going to post this onto our class, and I'm going to try to answer some other questions. I'm seeing themes going through that maybe I can answer that a lot of people are thinking or going through these processes. But the thing I want you to take from this more than anything is never lose hope. Okay? Never lose joy. Never lose peace. Even though we have spiritual scars inside of us, we all do. We're walking wounded. The healing will come when you are thankful for those situations. For example, a student of mine once said that forgiveness is giving up your right to get back at someone. But when you're really forgiving, you're actually healing yourself and allowing yourself to heal and not hold on to and keep picking at that spiritual scar that we have. And so I say to you, allow that to release as best you can, because once you have forgiven, then what happens is that the spiritual healing can begin. And that is the hardest part. That's when you're actually growing too, is when the healing. And I would say, for example, I have like a scar right here underneath my mustache from a firecracker. When I was younger, yeah, you're probably laughing right now. When I was younger, I would see my brothers, older brothers, put up a can with a hole on top and a little black cat firecracker, put it in there, put it in a tub of water, light it, and it shoots up, right? Well, they take off, still with me. Monkey see, monkey do. I find a black cat, do the same thing they do. Can, put it, the firecracker in a little hole, light it, and it's stopped, and boom, blew up in my face. So I have a scar from that. It doesn't hurt anymore, but it's still there, and I can still tell the story. Okay, I have scars all over the place, being a busy, active boy, that I can tell stories about, but they don't hurt anymore. That's the same thing about healing and forgiveness and those spiritual scars. You can still have the scars, but you can tell the stories without feeling the verp, I call it. It's actually Tim Allen had a comedy act that said, he goes, have you ever had that verp, half vomit, half burp? You kind of burp it up and kind of taste the acidity from your stomach. Well, I call them emotional verps. Those are verps are tied to emotions. So if there's something, a bad experience or something that comes up, or a memory, and then you actually have the emotional bad taste in your mouth. Well, that means there's something inside your stomach or inside your soul that has not healed yet. Those are the things that you tend to. Those are the things that you take to God and say, God, please help me heal these things and take them from me and forgive. Help me to forgive, because in the end, what ends up happening is that you're doing it for yourself, not for the other person. Okay, regardless, because they probably don't even have any idea, or maybe they died and they don't know. So you don't want to be a victim of those verps, continually bringing it up, or at least to the point where you're not able to forgive. At least forgive yourself too as well. Anyway, so I'm rambling on. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm just testing this out, see if this works well, and we will talk to you later. All right, please comment and let me know what your thoughts are here, if you like this or not. Thanks.